sky, and kings shall deceive. We have come into the night, thunder and rage and war a night. We have come into the night, thunder and rage and war a night. We'll fight for kings, for Ragnarok. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. I can feel it in my veins, the warrior inside of me. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. The sounds of arms, fierce morality. Nightfall, the rain, and the silence leads. We have come into the night, thunder and rage and war a night. We have come into the night, thunder and rage and war a night. We'll fight for kings, for Ragnarok. Sail war. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla. I can feel it in my veins, the warrior inside of me. Drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok, drink her up for Ragnarok. Welcome to Valhalla.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Seer for Valhalla Esports Season 4 quarterfinals. I am Hailstorm, and I'm joined by Blitzkrieg Pyro. How you doing?
Doing all right.
Good
Ready
to
to get
hear.
into this. Ready for quarterfinals.
As they're starting off the playoffs, we will go over the final week of regular season games, and then we'll look at the 4 games coming up tonight at 9. Be sure to tune in for the live games. We'll be streaming one of them tonight. I believe we'll be doing Bomba Bros versus FF15. So
That's right.
get hyped for that matchup, and we'll look at all the matchups and see what predictions we have. First up, we've got Goat Kings versus the Bomba Bros. Game 1 had Bomba on the blue side, Goat Kings on the red side. Bombas ended up with Blitz, Caitlyn, Ivern, Brand, and Ornn. Goat Kings end up with Victor, Rakan, Skarner, Tristana, and Urgot. See, Goat Kings were banning away some of the standard jungles, the Zac and the Shaco. Bomba Bros didn't want to see that Malphite, and we're taking away Shampo's Katarina along with Hobbit's Jhin. So, how do you feel about these matchups?
I mean, Bomba took out the top 3 for 3 different people on Goat Kings, taking away their top because even that Nunu, I believe, is Doom Vanilla's bread and butter.
Right.
But yeah, Goat Kings, struggling during the regular seasons. So I expected Goat Kings to try to go for the upset here in the final week, but I don't think it came together for him here.
Hello, Bears Pick. Yeah, let's see how it came up. And game 1 went the way of Bomba Bros. Wheel Poco getting big on that Caitlyn. Modlock also doing some good work on that Brand.
Looks like oh yeah he did, but yeah, looks like they went for a very aggressive bot lane there with Hungry Hobbit. Beard actually back in the top lane for that week on 420 Samurai in the bot lane. Looks like Hobbit trying to go and trying to make a lot of plays for his team to get the advantage there, and just not quite able to do that. Or the Blitzcrank pulled him a lot and just not able to counter away.
Says Hobbit's just straight running it. Oof. Hey, it
And
happens
that's not
sometimes.
me. That's our beard.
Ooh, beard. Yeah, unfortunately, I had to sub out. But definitely a good try from them. Caitlyn just with that range, and then this was the patch where they added that new burn item, so Brand is just kind of ridiculous with that plus the Andres. It's like the Black Torch and the Andres, or whatever it's actually called. Don't listen to him. Stop typing to yourself, Austin.
That's not me.
Here for game number 2. Bomba back on the blue side, Go Kings on the red. Bomba got that Blitz, Ash, Belveth, Mordekaiser, Talia, keeping the same first 3 bands, then taking out that Victor and Azul. Goat Kings, grabbing Caitlyn, Maokai, and Malphite, Kindred, and Nivea. Wanted to get that Malphite for Beard, so picked it earlier. And then similar early bands, and I think it might have been the same bands all the way through. But good little adjustment for them. Gonna be the champ you wanted. I think Mordekaiser does pretty well into it, so to get a little bit countered. Then just Ash, I know it can be scary. It's one of Wheel Poko's bread and butters, so a little bit scary from the Bomba draft in my mind. What are you thinking?
Yep. No, I definitely agree. They got some of their comfort picks over there. Evbot's still very comfortable in that Talia as well.
Yeah, Talia's
But
also one of those champs who's just been in a good spot.
yeah, I mean, I like the amount of CC as a team that Good Kings has in this matchup here. Yeah, CC from basically everybody except for the Kindred. But I think that this may have been like a funnel approach maybe for that. But
Yeah, if they can keep it close, they have a pretty good team fight. But let's see what happened.
yep.
As looks like Bombos took game number 2. A little bit of pop off across the map with the 7, 12, 10, 10, and then 3, but with plenty of assists from the Blitzcrank. Looks like Go Kings put up more of a fight in this one, but wasn't enough, and series went to the Bomba Bros. Well played.
I think that secured them the 4th overall seed.
Game was so fun. Yeah, looks like it was a pretty close one. So glad you guys enjoyed it through the season. Still had that team synergy despite not getting the wins. And then reminder, anybody watching, if you got your Prime sub available, toss them our way. Receive your 30 days of love from Valhalla Esports. And now we'll jump into the second series, which was Los Nomadas versus INT. You want to run through this one?
Yeah, so Los Demandas banning out the Zach, Asol, Fiddlesticks, Victor Oriana, INT banning out the Vlad, Amumu, Karma, Trindamir, Quinn. Los Demandas then taking the Jinx for themselves, Lulu, Anivia, Heimendinger, Skarner, INT taking Ash, Maokai, Swain, Vigar, Graves.
They
Los
got the
Demandas
Swain.
definitely they did get Swain. They did get Swain for deity, but then they're also giving up the redacted getting the Jinx with a Lulu. He's been popping off for Los Demandas there. I think he's up there with the kill leader, so it'll be interesting to see. There's gonna be blood this game.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
They've had a good time putting him on a carry with Ray was just being an enchanter support. Normally I do the Milio, went with the Lulu this time, but same idea.
yep.
And then this was where Snerbopsy was going top lane into deity and
Like,
was counterpicking with that Heimerdinger top as well.
and these were streamed 2 Mondays ago.
Yes, so if you didn't see these games, check them out. They're on the YouTube and still have the VODs, I believe, here. Beard living the silver lining, saying we got that first pick locked up. It was all part of the plan. But we'll see who took game number 1. Where Insername there took the win. The counter pick was working pretty well for Snerbopsy and lane, but didn't really stop Deity from farming. And then once it got to team fights, he was just kind of a terror along with Mont Blanc in this game. Thank you,
I forgot.
Smoothie. Thank you, Excellence. You both received your 30 days of love from Valhalla Esports.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, gentlemen. It's awesome. I called up for Los Tomatos that Redacted on that Jinx. He had been quite good, but Redacted was actually, yeah, as you called out, Snorbopsy went top, and they pushed Redacted to mid lane, and then Ray was out as support, so Black and Blue was picked up, and then Fluffy also filled in for
Oh
AD
yeah,
carry.
yeah. I forgot that those two subs were right.
Only Bulgaria was in his normal spot, so we know who to blame.
But this week he'll be out of town, so
Yep.
more subs for them. But well played to insert name there for game number 1. Jump into draft number 2.
INT banning out the Vlad, Amumu, Karma, Anivia, Ari. Los Tomatoes spanning out the Zac, Asol, Swain. So not letting him have the Swain this game.
Yeah, learn
The
their lesson.
Malphite and the Jax. Yep. And then to INT taking the Jinx for themselves, having the Nautilus, Fiddlesticks, Brand, and Kale. So that is a Kale top. Los Tomatos picked up Zeri, and that's one of Fluffy's bread and butters. Maokai, Tryndamere, Seraphine, and Victor. And so the Tryndamere also known for Snorbopsy, but typically plays that in the mid lane against some mages.
Yeah, he's more used to it mid trend. A little different for top. But INT set up with a ton of scaling, so my fear going into this one was if they didn't get to the late game, they could have issues. Los Amadas similarly just have to take advantage early if they want to get the victory. How does the picking work? These are what teams. Well, I guess if you don't know, this is a community where we have in-houses and a season that people play. So what we're going over right now is what teams played in the previous week of games and seeing who won and who didn't win. So it's a draft style, kind of like how the LCS does it.
Yep, we reuse the same draft. Will have the draft work the same way as they do in the professionals. For first pick for one side,
Yeah.
2 picks for the other side, and then two and two.
And if you are new, feel free to check out the Discord and join up if you'd like to. But we'll jump to the score screen, see who took it away. And game number 2 went the way of insert name there. Deity got very big on that Kale. Was unfortunate for Snorbopsy. He got an early kill, but it was messed up where he got that kill, but it kind of killed his lane state, and then Deity was able to kind of get big from there along with some jungle help. But well played to insert name there, and they took the victory 2-0. I meant their drafts. Yeah, there's a coin flip to determine which team picks sides, and then each team does a normal draft where, like in any draft pick, you have your bans and then your picks. So it's the 3 bans, 3 picks, 2 bans, 2 picks system. For the third series, we had Night Raid Owls versus the Kraken Slayers. Night Raid Owls on the blue side, banned away Yasuo, Asol, Yone, Cassiopeia, and Nautilus. Kraken Slayers taking out that Lilia, Karthus, Poppy, Swain, and Shyvana. Night Raid grabbing Camille, Braum, Jinx, Brand, and Silas. Crank says with Ashe, Skarner, Malphite, Sejuani, LeBlanc. We were looking for a solid team fight comp. We see we got plenty of CC. And that's kind of on Ashe and LeBlanc to deal out the damage for us. And Night Raid going with one of their more traditional lineups, using that Brand jungle for Kidbu because he likes the AP junglers. And then Camille for mines, one of his better characters, and very scary to see him on that.
Who was your support in this comp?
Skarner.
Garner. Okay.
But what are your thoughts going into the game?
Uphill battle for you. Night Raid Owls has looked pretty unstoppable. I think they dropped the one game, or the one series to INT. A lot of good ults there for Silas, so that's kind of scary. And
Yeah, I
then
was a big Silas fan.
obviously giving the Camille over is always painful there for you in top lane to give that over to Mind's Desire.
Yeah, I was saying we should ban it. We were hoping he wouldn't first pick it, and then we could pick it, but he did indeed first pick it. But we will look and see. Game 1, going the way of Night Raid Owls. We see Kaz, Mines, and Kid Buu getting very large. They lost to FF15 week 1.
Okay.
There's also one they kind of played where Mines was more on a supportive character instead of a carry character. So it was just kind of one of those week 1's draft oddities, I feel like, from that first week lost. But seeing their power here, Mine's got very large in the Camille. I think in one of the other games we streamed, we saw it where he'd just jump on AD carry and kind of delete them. Was able to do that a lot in this game as well. So Will played the game for them for game number 1. Here's draft for game number 2. Same sides. Night Raid this time took out the Asol, Yasuo, and LeBlanc, and then took out the Urgot and Garen. Kraken Slayers banned away that Camille, got the Lilia and the Jinx, and then banned away the Tryndamere and Set. Night Raid got Sejuani, Braum, Victor, Caitlyn, and Fiora. Kraken Slayers had Misfortune, Maokai, Lux, Warwick, and Tom Kentish. And how you feel about these lineups?
I always love when you unbench the Kench, but how's that into a Fiora matchup? I also think there's a lot of melee CC that they get on top of you between the Braum, the Sejuani, and a Fiora that like you're just not gonna get to play the game.
Yeah, I actually took the Maokai top for this game. Both matchups I feel pretty fine in the 1v1. They're both kind of just, you go tanky, you try to mitigate. But yeah, they have like it set up with all the stuns and the extra permafrost for Sejuani, as you said. So it's never really a 1v1 when you're against Night Raid Owls. Kid Buu does like to help out that top lane a fair amount.
Yeah, no, I mean makes sense. That's where a lot of their salary is. It's also on the top side of the map, so gonna be active.
For sure, for sure. But looking at the results, Night Raid Owls take the series 2-0. We'll play to them. Chasm Mines once again getting large, and then the rest of the team supporting them effectively. And Fluffy jumped in for this game number 2. Their mid laner had left because apparently it was his birthday and he was kind of drunk, so we said, hey, go have fun.
Interesting.
We'll jump into the games for the 4th series, which was FF15 versus Demonic Ascension. Ah, yes, it was excellent. I was very drunk. It's all good. It was your birthday. You're allowed to do that every once in a while.
Demonic Ascension taking away the Poppy, Olaf, Zerath, Olaf, and or not Olaf, Ornn, and Jarvan for FF15 taking away the Rakan, interesting first round ban. Silas, Nocturne, Trundle, and Vex. Demonic Ascension taking the Caitlyn Zyra bot lane, trying to get some early pressure down there. Also taking Viego, Aurelion Sol, and Zac. FF15 taking Misfortune, Morgana, Seraphine, Amumu, and Pantheon, so for FF15, I don't really love that lineup. I think it's a very early game lineup, but I don't think they have enough pressure, especially late game, or damage healing up, especially if they go late game. It's all going to be kind of on the MF to really kind of be dishing out that damage and carrying, so they kind of have to funnel early, and if that doesn't go their way, and there's still a Zac, there's still a Viego, there's several ways to get onto that back line. That's
Right.
a hard protect the MF comp there.
Yeah, and I know at one point Zyra was like the pick to counter MF. I don't know if that's still how it is for bot lane, but we'll see if that was a factor as well. But yeah, very much a solo carry, it seems like, for FF15. So let's see if Covert Panda put on the carry pants or not. And it looks like he did indeed. Smoothie and
Wow.
Cover Panda doing what they needed to, and Bentage unkillable 4011. Ah, yes, the dreaded double burn item once again on any of these mages who can use them. Just kind of ridiculous as well. So yeah, I guess with those two new items, that's kind of helps out a lot with that damage as well.
Yeah, it looks like they were able to win some of those early matchups and take it in their favor. You know, Pharaoh not able to get going on that Viego, and Smoothie popping off early, able to pop around to the other lanes would be my guess.
For
And
sure.
then yeah,
And
KB or KB and you know
they did end it
filling
out
in.
pretty quickly, which helps them as well. It was only 26 minutes.
So the salt wasn't there for FF15, and they moved KB from support to jungle.
Yep.
They picked up kittens. I think they have Birdman this week.
Yeah, this time they have Filthy
Filthy Birdman.
Birdman. I think KB's going top lane this time. So
Oh,
we'll see
okay.
how they do with their lineup getting shifted around once again with the sub, but they looked
They
effective in
took
this
M1
game.
here. Yep.
As we'll jump into the next draft.
Draft 2, they switch sides. Demonic Ascension going red. FF15, though, still banning that Rakan, banning the Silas, Nocturne, Aurelion Soul, and Vex. Demonic Ascension banning the Poppy, Morgana, Misfortune, Seraphine, and Pantheon, banning 4 of the 5 champions that were played in the game
They
before.
said we don't like these.
FF15 responding with Zoe, Zac, the one that wasn't banned, Senna, Malphite, and Gragas. Oh
Graves.
no, Graves.
Yep.
Graves, sorry, the color. Demonic Ascension taking Skarner, Maokai, Swain, Neferi,
Fury.
and Yorick?
Yep.
Is it We got a Yorick. I think this is our first Yorick sighting this season. I could be wrong. I have to check the stats board. But
Smoothie
you think
played it into
second?
me one time,
Okay, so maybe our second
at least.
second sighting here.
He's been
Um,
rare.
but so for Demonic Ascension, is it a Swain 8P carry?
Yeah, it looks like it. I think Swain bot with either probably Maokai,
Probably Maokai, yeah.
Skarner jungle, AD mid within the Fury. So
Interesting.
I like the lineup. They still have pretty good damage spread. The Fury can be very scary if she gets ahead. So just will be looking to jump on that Zoe and roam. And I think they have a really good team fight comp as 4, along with the York to split push. So I like their lineup for this game.
Yeah, a lot of all in though for FF15. For
Yeah,
sure.
they're all about jumping in. So if they pick them off while they try to split push, definitely can go either way.
Yeah.
But let's
Let's see.
see who took it. As game number 2, going the way of Demonic Ascension. Pharaoh
Copy.
doing much better on that Skarner, console C with the Swain, getting his main champ, showing off that damage he can do.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a. Oh, so they had. Okay, they had a Zoe support.
Oh,
Interesting. I've seen
yeah,
that work at when it's like a Masters player versus like a silver, but I don't know if I can see that really working in this league.
I think I
That's
remember them talking about this. I think that was an accidental pick and they just rolled with it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
Yeah, I mean that makes some sense, but
unfortunate
that's
for
not really.
them, but
Yeah, it's not
still
who
like
you
making a
want to
pretty good
pair up.
fight.
Yeah, it's not who you want to pair up bot lane with Senna.
Yeah, normally I have a tank with Sona, but
Yeah, tank gets some hard CC to help peel.
jump
But yeah,
into draft number 3.
draft number 3, Demonic Ascension, taking away the Poppy, Morgana, Misfortune, also taking away the Pantheon and the Olaf. So let the Zac through again, but not picked up. FF15 banning the Rakan, learning from the Swain, taking also away the Silas, also taking away the York and Vex. Demonic Ascension first picking that Maokai. Always love to see that. Taking the Samira, Trundle, Diana, and Sejuani. Plenty of melees there for the Sejuani, and a lot of Team CC there. FF15 taking the Skarner for themselves. The Varus, Zerath, Soraka, and Mordekaiser. It's been a little while since I've seen the Soraka bot lane, but the Zerath especially though, we've definitely seen vintage pop off on that. into this matchup here. I guess he's into that Diana mid lane. So Diana trying to
Yeah,
counter and
should
go
be.
more aggressively, especially if he tries to ult, he can kind of turn around and go back in.
Yeah,
But
Demonic Ascension going with a similar plan. The strong 4-man and the split pusher with the Trundle. Seems like the York was annoying since they banned it from last game, so they like having that pressure in the side lane. FF15, I like their lineup again for the team fights. Will just depend on if they can get them set up and keep the side lanes in check. KJ
yeah,
Jinx and
bomb.
Corky made it through both drafts.
Yep, yeah, just not what they wanted to go with. Not what they wanted to specialize in this week, I guess.
But let's see who took the series as looks like Demonic Ascension taking the victory. Console C getting very big on that Samira. And then looks like you had the full split push setup for Trundle going on. So they enjoy using that side lane pressure. Looks like a lot closer one cover. It also being very large along with Smoothie, but wasn't quite enough. Went to 40 minutes, but went the way of Demonic Ascension with 2 Barons, and looks like they got the Elder Dragon as well.
Yeah,
So definitely a hard fought game.
they definitely hard fought game, and that was a have to have for Demonic Ascension securing themselves playoffs.
Yep. Now we'll jump into the 5th series, which was Stoner Nation against HYG, which, fun fact, is going to be a rematch for the quarterfinals. They're back against each other once again for this week's games.
And this was live streamed 2 weeks ago. In case you missed it, have some time to tune in and watch that before the games tonight.
For sure, for sure. Stoner Nation, Manaway Braum, Ash and Jin, Asol Nautilus, HYG taking out Lux, Gragas, Zac, Malzahar, and Vigar. Stoner Nation grab that Caitlyn, Skarner, Thresh, Ari, Darius. HYG grabbing Misfortune, Brand, Nocturne, Nasus, and Annie. So I really like the Stoner Nation lineup. I feel like it's just a really solid comp. HYG, they want that Nocturne to get online, and Nasus just to get stacked and be scary late game. I'm not sure if it was Brand or Antibot, but both ready to deal out that damage. I'm guessing it was Brand support.
I think it was Brent Sport, yeah.
You got any thoughts on it, or you want to jump to see who took game number 1?
Let's see who took game number 1.
Game number 1 going the way of
Stoner's
Stoner
Nation.
Nation. Yep. Spoobert getting very large on that Darius. Duck Butter Toast having a good game on that Caitlyn. Caitlyn not a fun champ to fight. Doesn't look like it.
Nope. Yep. He's Duck Butter plays that champion a lot as well, so very comfortable there
Yep.
into this matchup.
And Spoobert doing what he needed to do. If you're Darius into the Nasus, you have to punish. Looks like he did a very good job of that and helped lead them to that victory. So good job using their bully champions effectively. As we jump into game number 2, she can one-shot me with a headshot. Yeah, eventually. Draft for game number 2. HYG on the blue side this time, banning away the Darius, Lux, Zac, Milio, Gragas. Stoner Nation taking out that Ashton, Braum, Nasus, and Ari. HYG taking the Caitlyn for themselves this time. Pairing up with Rel, Rek'Sai Jungle, Asol Mid, and Rumble top. Stoner Nation grabbing that Jinx, Skarner, Malzahar, Janna, and Sion. So another set of pretty standard teamfight comps. A lot more CC on the side of Stoner Nation, but higher damage output on the side of HYG. Who you think will take this game?
Well, I think this went to best of 3, so I think HYG took this one.
By
Could be wrong.
logicking it out, that would be correct, but let's see if you're right. And you are correct. HYG taking game number 2. Popping off all across the map. Just well played all around from them on that one. Looks like Spoobert doing pretty well as well. Doing the Scion thing where you kind of just get kills but die a lot.
Yeah, I feel like Stoner Nation had a plan for game one. They executed, did what they wanted to do, and then they kind of threw that plan out the window in game two.
Right,
And
right.
I believe this was a pretty. So they still went to 37 minutes here, but as you said, basically everybody got fed for HYG. Everybody got to eat in this game. Definitely different vibes if you watch the streams from game one to game two.
Yeah, for sure. Um, and still getting two Barons, whereas Star Nation had the Soul, so definitely a hard fought game. But we'll jump into Silver Scrapes for game number 3. Star Nation on the blue side, banned away Braum, Ash, Asol, Nasus, and Rumble this time. HYG taking out Darius, Kate, Lux, Scion, and Vigar. Star Nation had Jin, Nautilus, Viego, Mazar, and Udyr. HYG had Lucian, Volibear, Rel, Azir, and Set. I think I kind of remember this one. I think Udyr became kind of a problem.
I think Udyr and Viego, I think, were both a problem in this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, Udyr side lane just 2v1ing and just laughing and walking away.
Yep. And we'll jump into it. See, Star Nation took the series. Well played to them. I believe it also netted them the playoff spot they were trying to get.
Yep.
Yeah. Boomstick and large. Spoobert, not a ton of kills, but was that big problem. Was super tanky in the side lane. So we'll play Stone Nation to make it into the playoffs,
And
taking
the
down
reward,
HYG.
another healthy dose of HYG.
Yeah. And we'll see what people are thinking for the votes for the predictions, since we got to see the preview this previous week. And the final game for last, or I guess 2 weeks ago, games were Titan Gaming Box versus Shifting Sands Gaming, not Samsung Galaxy.
Yep. The Titan Gaming Mox, uh, they missed their first bans.
Yeah, no first 3 bans.
Okay, so they forfeited the first 3 bans, being a little bit tardy, but then took away the Azir and the Asol. Shift Sands Gaming taking away the Olaf, Aatrox, Vladimir, Dr. Mundo, and Mordekaiser. Time Game Mox taking the Nocturne for themselves, the Jin, Nautilus bot lane, Vex, and Darius. Shifty Sands Gaming taking the Zac, Caitlyn with Emilio, that's just illegal range, Ornn, and Victor.
Yeah,
Um,
pretty solid
that's a
lineup.
lot of scaling on SSG.
Ton of scaling. If they make the late game, it will be terrifying. As you mentioned, Milio Caitlyn range is ridiculous. As long as that Ornn can negate the Darius, because it's Bunny Lord on that
Right.
Darius, so he's looking to become scary. Then I like the draft for Shifting Sands Gaming a little more. Taking Game Mox still has a pretty good draft. Just have to effectively execute early before they get outscaled.
Yeah, absolutely. If they can take advantage and win some of those early lanes.
Yep. And looks like
Shifting
Shifting
Sands.
Sands taking game number 1, doing what they needed to do. Took out 33 minutes. Mockingbird killing it on that Victor.
Bunny Lord still popping off as well, but just
Yep.
not enough.
He was doing
Looks like
well.
Black and Blue. Did Black and Blue get picked up, or was he subbing this week?
I believe that was the sub.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll play to them taking that game number 1 and negating Bunny Lord, even though he was a pretty big Darius. Here for draft
Yes,
number 2.
yeah, he was subbing for Vixper. So Titan Gaming Box banning the Azir, Victor, Aurelion Sol, Draven, and Lucian. Not looking for any early bot lane pressure. Shooting Stance Gaming banning out the Aatrox, Vladimir, Olaf, Dr. Mundo, and not giving over that Darius once again. Titan Gaming Box taking Caitlyn, Nocturne once again, Galio, Nautilus, and Yone. Shifting Stance Gaming taking the Zac, Hwei, Skarner, Fiora, and Rakan. So I guess that's a Hwei AP carry bot lane with the Rakan. I'm not sure how I feel about that because I don't know that the Rakan does enough for the Hwei, but maybe the Hwei
Right.
can just do enough on their own. Maybe
Yeah,
that's the thought there,
it's
but
a little bit of an odd lineup. Like, you kind of have 2 junglers slash top laners, and then still a Fiora. So
I mean,
we'll have to
I
see
think
how
that
it
is
works out for
Avius.
him.
Yeah, I think it is at least like Avius still piloting that. But yeah, interesting matchup there. I like the more traditional lineup from Titan Mox Gaming this game.
Right. Yeah, solid CC, really good engage. That Nocturne Galio is a really good combo where you can kind of have Nocturne jump in and Galio jump in after. Then Yone, a little bit weaker because of the rune changes, but still looking to get strong in that top lane. But we'll see how it went in the score screen, where game number 2 going the way of Titan Gaming Mux. Nithros having a good time on that Caitlyn. Bunny Lord pretty strong on that Yone, and just solid team fight looks like for them. Had good control of objective, got 2 Barons, and were able to close the game out at 32 minutes. And had the Mockingbird on the Fiora mid lane.
Yeah,
So,
that's another
I guess it was
odd
just
choice there.
trying to be a counter to the Galio. Doesn't look like it was ideal though. But we'll jump into draft number 3.
All right, draft number 3, Shifting Sands Gaming on blue side, taking away the Olaf, Aatrox, Vlad, Nocturne, and Brand. So not wanting to see the Nocturne from the previous game, but they did like the Vex through that did end up getting picked up by Titan Mox Gaming. They still kept their bans with the Victor and Azir, but this time opting for no Caitlyn this game. It's also getting rid of the Malphite and Ornn. Shifting Sands Gaming taking Aurelion Sol, Lucian, Milio bot lane, Zac, Lilia. Titan Mox Gaming taking the Vex, Nautilus, Yone, Samira, and Jarvan 4.
So I'm assuming.
I know you.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I'm assuming it was Zac top and Lilia jungle, which I kind of like having Zac into Yone. I think he'll do pretty well. Just goes tanky and kind of negates him.
Yeah, I think that could definitely be good. And you have your eject button there in that matchup. I think the only CC that Yon has is his ult.
Right,
Uh,
right.
so I think you can quite jump away to safety. But the Lucian Milio bot lane, I think I'd rather see um, like a Braum or a Nami or something that helps have that extra damage. I know Milio does in their own way, but this doesn't have a lot in the way of CC. Just has the one fire kick or whatever.
Right, right.
And then that Samira I think is a very good answer to that setup.
Yeah, it seems
Um,
like a good pick. So Shifting Sands just really has to avoid the CCs to make sure Samira doesn't pop off too hard. But
right.
let's see who took the series. Where Shifting Sands took the victory. Avius and Mockingbird getting quite large. And then just looks like a long, hard-fought game. Went almost to 45 minutes, but
Not
eventually went the way.
Nithros.
Yeah, Nithros got very
I don't. I
large.
don't. Yeah, I don't think that. I think that lane went a little closer, or a little more flippy. Looks like both those supports were very aggro there, but yeah, both those AD carries getting huge this game.
Yep. Looks like could have gone either way easily, but went the way of Shifting Sands. So well played to them. So those are all the games. Now we'll look at the brackets for the playoffs. So here we're at the quarterfinals for the games tonight. Got Night Red Owls up against Los Namadas. The Bomba
I,
Bros against FF15.
I think if you go back, I think Titan Gaming Mox actually won that series.
Oh, did they? Am I wrong?
I think that says defeat for Shifting
Oh,
Sands.
you're right. My bad. All right. Well played to Titan Game Mux. Same thing, but opposite way. Yeah.
He also
Second.
got a penta that game according to Bazinga.
Ooh, well played on the
I
Penta.
yeah.
Yeah, I got thrown off because it was tactic posting it, but it was a defeat. So.
Sorry, captains, do your jobs, please.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, Night Raid versus Los Namadas for the 1/8 seed. Bomber Bros versus FF15 4-5. The rematch of Stoner Nation against HYG 6 versus 3, and then Demonic Ascension versus insert name there for 7-2 for tonight's games.
Which is also a rematch.
Yes, It is also a rematch. But not of the immediate rematch, right?
Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but it looks like we got
Oh.
we got 11 votes, 11 polls results this week, so it's a step up here. But reminder, especially for next season, put your votes in there. What do you guys think? It doesn't hurt anybody. Go ahead and put
Hurts
it
me.
in there. Hurts you when they don't do it, right?
Exactly. But yeah, sorry for posting the predictions kind of late. Good job getting them in. You still have time to do your predictions if you haven't yet. I don't close them till the games start at 9, so you got 2 hours to get more predictions in. And I'll probably track the playoff scores separately, as we see the winners were Doom Vanilla and myself. We both tied with 78% correct predictions during the regular season. So for him and me, I'll have to see who does better in playoff predictions to get an overall winner. But I'll also track everyone separately for playoff predictions. So if you didn't do it during the season, you can still do them for playoffs and try to get on that leaderboard for being the big brain picker. But we see there's a high support for Night Raid Owls with that 1 seed over Los Nomadas. They have been looking very scary. Despite Stoner Nation having won last time they played, 100% belief in HYG once again. So everyone's believing in you to turn it around there, HYG.
And for Thunder Nation, everybody's counting you out. Time to show up.
Someone on my team did something. He's carrying the team. For FF15 Bomber Bros, this will be the game we're going to stream live. And I agree with the votes. This one was the most toss-up for me as far as which team I picked who I thought would win. Definitely, any of them can go either way, but I think this one especially, just a very good matchup for both teams. And then Demonic Ascension versus insert name there. Big support for insert name there, but Demonic Ascension ready to play spoilers. Definitely eager to sign up for Season 5 for sure. Excited to have more people play. You have any thoughts on the series?
Yeah, I'm excited to see these games. Definitely expecting there to be some upsets. I mean, 3 of these games, those number 1 seeds were incredibly dominant. I think 2 of them were 7-1, one was 6-2 for HYG. So they definitely have their dominance on display this season. But see if it translates to the playoffs, because they got here so far, but now it's how every game, every single individual matchup matters. And yeah, shouting out as our leader, Goat King Beard, posting there. We're having season 5 signups coming out sometime in this next week. There will be announcements in our Discord. But yeah, looking forward to the game tonight with FF15 versus Bomber Bros at 9 o'clock Eastern Time.
For sure, for sure.
It should be fire, and we'll try to get to as many games as we can this week. I think Hailstrom and I will try to, and Malco will try to make an exception to get as many of these streamed, if not all of these streamed.
Yeah, I do my best to get all the playoff games streamed, so no promises, but that's our goal.
That's our goal, ladies and gentlemen. And if it doesn't happen, we apologize.
If it doesn't happen, then pretend we never said anything. But thank you all for watching. Be sure to tune in a couple hours for the live series. And thank you all for watching. Catch you on the flip side.
Peace out.